So hello from the OK Turbo rocket shop. So it's a Friday evening. It's a beautiful day here. Been a beautiful day here in Northeast Oklahoma. It's a beautiful evening. So just kind of getting things ready for the launch on Sunday, Tulsa rocketry launch on Sunday. So I figured I'd just kind of like show some of the rockets I'm prepping. I'm not sure if anybody really cares about this content or not, but I'm going to do it anyway. So one of the rockets I'm bringing, like I said in some of my earlier videos, it's always difficult to pick which rockets to bring to the launch. I've already prepped Horizon. I took it last time and never did get to fly it. It got kind of windy. I also have the Mighty Mick. So I'm going to take Mighty Mick, Horizon, and this upscale Estes Interceptor that I built years ago. So it's a scratch build. Sandman, Gordon Agnello, made the nose cone. He made these tail cones, or well, I'm not sure it's called tail cone. It's a nose cone, kind of tail cone thing, these pods. He made this for me. The rest of it I cut out. This is basswood, but this rocket's been around for a while. There's a calendar on the wall that shows Tulsa rocketry from July of 2006, and that was probably when I was doing the maiden flight on it, so it's been around since 2006. So just to kind of go through it real closely, you can see it's got some battle scars. It's been around. It's been to national sport launches, been to Argonia, different places, but the tip of the nose cone's kind of beat up a little bit there. But these are all honest battle scars. It's been a really good rocket. I just really love the design. I have since I was a kid. You can see some of the the scrapes and scratches. There's some real thin stress cracks there and there in the paint. I've soaked that with some thin CA. You can see how all these little pokey parts, they end up getting beat up pretty bad. I think I've glued this little antenna thing back on. I tried real careful when I built the thing to like get good airfoils and just really, I'm just really proud of what, how this thing turned out. Of course, it's just such a cool design. And the decals, I'm trying to remember where I got the decals from. They're actually watered decals. Who is it that used to do those? Fred at Excelsior Rocketry, I think is who did them. Anyhow, you can see here, this is, last time I flew this, I think that was at the Tulsa Rocketry High Frontier launch in Ponca City. And I think that's when it came down, it kind of got dragged around and this whole thing busted. So I kind of glued it back together and I used some thin carbon fiber tissue and some dope just to really try and harden it. It doesn't exactly match, of course, but I mean, it's a good solid repair now. We'll see if it survives the launch on Sunday. What I've done here is I used to have launch lugs on it, and I've converted them with this little gizmo here to rail buttons. So you can see what I've done there. So now what I can do is if I want to go back to lugs, I can unscrew that, take the button off, and this whole thing slides off. So it's kind of this neat little arrangement there. So that's the rocket. It's 29 millimeter. I used one of these slimline retainers on the back, and I'm going to kind of set up here. There was some talk on the forum about these guys, and no, they're not as easy as to take on and off as like the aero packs or the screw-ons, but it's got this little snap ring it's just actually called a spiral ring. But if you grab the edge of it with a small screwdriver, see if I can do this and still avoid knocking the camera over. The way it works is you just kind of pry this out of the groove. Now, of course, I just did it a second ago and it came right out. Now that the video's going, it's going to be difficult. Oh my goodness. That's the way it goes. trying to show somebody how easy this is, and it just will not work. Let's try it like this. The problem is I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way. Now we got it started. Okay, so you kind of spiral it out. Good grief! Hope you were able to see that, but you use the end of the screwdriver and you grab that little edge and then you kind of pry it out of the groove. There's a groove there. So you slide your motor in there. Then you kind of get the thing started again, and then you just kind of spiral it back in. And it snaps back in. I don't know if that made it look easy or not, but the trick is to get this thing started. You have to grab under that edge, get it out of the groove, and then you spiral it around, then you spiral it back in. But anyhow, it's very low profile. I've got a couple extra of these spiral rings in case one of them goes flying out of the field. They're in my launch box, my rocket box. So here's the big interceptor. Get everything ready for the launch this weekend, so we need to open this guy up and see what's going on. See, there's Sandman, Gordon Agnello. Boy, he does good work, doesn't he? So, let's see what parachute I've got in here. What surprises? Looks like a top flight parachute. Things are getting kind of... Okay. This thing hasn't been fluffed in a while. So I have written down on this 36-inch top flight rocketry. So that's a 36-inch. It looks like a new chute. I think I picked out a new chute because I wanted something that would bring it down a little bit slower to try and avoid some of that damage. It looks like I haven't even used this one yet. So that's what's in it. So that looks good. With the swivel, a little quick link. Got basically Kevlar here going to the motor mount. Can't remember how I attached that inside the tube. We can't really see it. Typically it was through a hole in the centering rings. Like I said, it's been a long time since I built this thing. So there's kind of a Kevlar pad. I may go ahead and use some dog barf in it when I get to the field. But no, it looks like it's ready to go. Got the 1/4-inch Kevlar. Look, I use some paracord for the rest of the recovery harness. Everything looks good there on the nose cone attachment. So I think she's ready to fly. This one's going to be flying on Aerotech G79 White Lightning. So inside of that, there's my red Dr. Rocket case, 29-120 case. And so I've already built the motor up. I had a video on that. And that was from like last month's launch. So this has been sitting around. Like I said, when I build these rocket motors, you never know what's going to happen out the field, and it gets delayed. So this one's been sitting around for a month, so it should still be good. I mean, I've left them that way for a long time. You think about single-use motors, they're built and they last for years. So when I get to the field, I'll put the ejection charge in that, get it all ready, loaded up in the rocket, and we'll be ready to go. So this one looks like she's ready to go. So I'll stuff it all back together, and check has been done. It looks like she is flight ready. You know, actually, when I look at this, I think I'm going to rearrange this. I mean, it's never really been a problem, but I think I actually want the parachute attachment closer to the nose cone. So as the nose cone comes out, it will pull that chute. Right now, I've got it closer to the body. I mean, it's never really been a problem, but it's a better practice to have the parachute attachment closer to the part of the rocket that's coming out. So this will come out, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rearrange this. I'm going to try and, like I said, I'm going to put the parachute attachment closer to the nose cone end of this harness rather than where it attaches to the body here. So this is what you call an alpine butterfly knot. So this is a good way to make a loop in a line, but I'm going to have to take this one apart. So I've got some round nose pliers here to just kind of work this loose. So get this knot out. I think this is really one of the stronger ways to make a loop in a line. So work that out. There we go. Good as new, like it never happened. Okay. That all still looks good. I may wrap that in some electrical tape just to keep that from fraying a little bit. So what I've done is I've just gotten some of this. This is actually green electrical tape. It's still pretty stretchy, but covered up that knot, so that way it's not going to get stuck on anything, at least not as likely to. So there's that part. Now let's figure out where we're going to add this. Okay, I've put a little tape there to get that frayed in of that also. So there's no quick link or anything. I've just tied that right onto the end of the nose cone. So what we're going to do is we're going to add an alpine butterfly knot here. So I'm going to show you the OK Turbo way of doing this. So cord like this, around, and then back through the middle. So go through that again. So you hold it in your hand like this, you go around, top. So now you've got that looped around your hand. So this end's going that way, that's going that way. So we're going to make a loop in this thing, or make this attachment point right here. So now all you do is you grab the top one, down, just dig it back through, and then that's your loop. And depending on how big you want it, start pulling the ends. Just kind of make it look neat. And that's going to work really good. And you just work it till it's tight, and that is all there is to that. So now we've added an attachment point to our harness closer to the nose cone. That might actually be a little big, but it's all right. That is not a problem, but that is how you do that. So we'll add our quick link, add our swivelly. So now we're going to do some, it's called Z-folds on the recovery harness, or you can call it a shock cord. We've got enough of that, so that goes in. Good grief. That goes in. Now this isn't the final pack of the parachute, so I'm just going to get it in there so we can transport to the field. So, and I already did stuff that little Nomex pad in there too. So now there's just that much cord that's really going to pull that chute out. So, you know, I guess when you saw me kind of take this thing apart, you saw how much of that cord I had to pull to get the chute to come out. So hopefully this will go better. I mean, it survived this many years to set up the way it was, so I don't guess it's that bad, but it's just a better practice. Okay, There she blows. Cool old rocket. You know, a few years after I built this thing, Estes came out with the Interceptor E, which is, I think, maybe this is BT-80 sized. I think that one might be a little bit smaller, but really like the Estes Interceptor. So anyhow, hopefully I'll get some good GoPro flight videos.